Pentagon releases new images of Iranian regime's tanker attacks. The US military has released additional photos that it claims bolster allegations that the Iranian regime was responsible for attacks last week on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. The Pentagon on June 17th released images, many taken from a US Navy helicopter, that purport to show Iranian forces removing an unexploded mine from the hull of a Japanese-owned oil tanker. Washington has said the photos appear to show an attempt to remove evidence from the scene of the incident. Acting US Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said in a statement, "The recent Iranian attacks validate the reliable, credible intelligence we have received on hostile behavior by Iranian forces and their proxy groups that threaten US personnel and interests across the region." Germany and UK warn Iranian regime over uranium plans. Germany and Britain on Monday warned Tehran not to breach uranium stockpile limits set by the 2015 nuclear deal. The Iranian regime set a 10-day countdown on Monday to exceed the 300-kilogram limit set on its enriched uranium stocks, dealing another blow to the crumbling nuclear accord signed by Tehran and 6 international powers. German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas rejected the Iranian ultimatum and insisted that Tehran must stick to its commitments under the deal. A spokesman for the British government echoed the call, saying the E3, the European signatories to the deal, have consistently made clear that there can be no reduction in compliance. White House: Iran nuclear blackmail must be met with international pressure. The Iranian regime's plan to exceed nuclear enrichment limits amount to nuclear blackmail and must be met with increased international pressure, a White House national security spokesman said on Monday. Garrett Marquis said Iran's enrichment plans are only possible because of the horrible nuclear deal left their capabilities intact. President Trump has made clear that he will never allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons. The regime's nuclear blackmail must be met with increased international pressure. German court rejects Iranian regime's protest regarding Mahan Air. Germany's Administrative Supreme Court in the city of Lüneburg has upheld a decision by a lower German court banning carrier Mahan Air from landing or taking off from any German airport. Mahan Air is owned and operated by the Iranian regime's Revolutionary Guards, designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the US. The German Federal Aeronautic Association ruled on January 21st that Iran's Mahan Air flights were no longer permitted to land or take off from any German airport. The decision, at the time, was based on security concerns, according to the court ruling. Mahan Air is on US sanctions list, and Washington has long urged allies to ban it from their territory. The German court made the decision based on suspicions after Germany's foreign ministry claimed that Mahan Air transports military equipment and personnel to Middle East war zones. Prominent hardline theorist says Iran regime is near collapse. A prominent Iranian hardline theorist criticized the government and told officials during a speech that the regime would fall as a result of the regime's domestic policies and not the United States maximum pressure campaign. Rahimpour Azagadi, a veteran member of the Supreme Council of the Cultural Revolution, said, "A revolution cannot be preserved like this. You cannot keep the people on the regime's side like this. If you cut your ties with the people, especially the middle to lower classes, and specifically the impoverished, or if you don't understand them and they don't understand you, you should be afraid of yourselves and not the US." The Supreme Council of the Cultural Revolution is the highest body for making policies and decisions in connection with cultural, educational and research activities within the framework of the general policies of the regime. Its decisions can only be overruled by the regime's supreme leader. Azagadi attacked the government and said the government made empty promises.